I'm doing an event this Sunday coming up, 1 week from today. That's Sunday the 13th of November for lots of reasons. And some of those reasons are very difficult to put down in writing without seeming conceited. Or to I can misconvey the intention behind them. But yeah, it's just a cementation of a lot of different things that have gone on, that have occurred. It's I suppose um, an important personal moment for me with public value. Right. And basically, what's going on with this? It's a whole host of really interesting things, actually, which sort of came together when I walked recently between London and Norwich, which was inspired by the journeys I was having to do between Norwich and London to sustain the East London Cabaret, which basically was I did to be able to sustain my access to my university, so I could finish my degree because I wasn't getting student finance because I wasn't resitting in attendance. Because I couldn't bear to be at the institution, and then the cabaret itself did a variety of interesting things, but it was never financially viable in any way, shape, or form at all. But it was started 3 years ago, and so it's kind of like maybe a sort of anniversary of the East London Cabaret or of East London, because also I explicitly wrote my dissertation on the gentrification of East London and how this relates to cabaret and to performers and the circulation of inappropriate subjects and different subjects and transvestites and uh, sexuality and gender and class and queer space acts. Thinking about queer space acts and sort of bodies and what happens when bodies come together and how we put our bodies in certain spaces and what kind of comes from these things, then also the parameters of these bodies as well, and all sorts. And we're going to be thinking about that, we're going to be talking about that, and going to be doing things with things about that. And also, I have 1,500 photographs of me ploughing through the middle of nowhere in drag, doing amusing things like posing on hay bales and stuff like that, which you'll be able to see. It's totally free. It's at the Lime Wharf, and then we can individually, collectively, all together perform our own queer space act. It was a big queer space act to think about the way that a queer space act actually it was all really about East London and sort of getting a kind of perspective on that. And then now it's done other things, and it's going to be really exciting, and I would love it if you came.